Hello everyone, Casualeann here. And you know, I had to start dressed in solidarity for the atrocity that happened last night. Oh my goodness. Usually I do not do pay-per-view reviews. I do my predictions. I let the big folks handle the reviewing. But this is my first Big Four pay-per-view since I started reviewing. So I cannot believe what actually happened. If you haven't heard, Becky Lynch came back and squashed Bianca Belair. They're saying 26 seconds. I think it was way less than that. The sentence Becky Lynch defeats Bianca Belair should conjure images of like some big barn burner, like some 20-minute epic, or you know, at least like a 5 or 6 minute competitive match. Not what happened at all. Becky came back after they said that Sasha Banks couldn't compete. They said that Carmella was going to fill in, which was an absolute disappointment for the fans. You could tell they were upset about it. And then she went ahead. She came back. Becky Lynch challenged Bianca Belair. She accepted the challenge and then squashed her in a few seconds. She reached out for a handshake. Bianca went ahead, tried to shake her hand. Becky Lynch punched her and then hit a manhandle slam, which looks like a rock bottom, by the way. And that was it. And it was over. Mere moments. Now, this is the woman who main evented WrestleMania with Sasha Banks. They were the first African American women to main event WrestleMania. That was a few months ago. I started reviewing at the Talking Smack just after WrestleMania. It's been that short an amount of time since this happened. I've heard the rumors about Bianca Belair being pregnant. And if so, that's fine. You know, but do you know who else was allowed some dignity in being a pregnant champion and then going on and putting their title away and not being champion anymore? Becky Lynch. And even if Vince had some sort of outdated, or depending on your beliefs, outdated system of, you know, it looking bad if someone is pregnant out of wedlock, Bianca Belair and Montez Ford are married. Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins were just engaged at the time, which is my understanding. So I don't know if that's true, but if it is, that's not even an excuse if she is pregnant. If they were looking for a reason for her to come back, like them trying to, you know, do the CM Punk thing, you know, get some sort of big cheap pop, you know, nothing is going to compare to CM Punk coming back. Nothing. So, trying to bury Bianca Belair, that was not the answer to that. So, I am absolutely disgusted. It's not the fact that she lost. There are winners and losers all the time. This is the nature of the game. It's not that she lost, it's how. The woman was owed more dignity than that. anybody else should have had it. Okay. So I've spent enough time on that. I'm going to go through some of the other notes for some of the other matches. Well, for the rest of the matches. First was the fact that Big E actually came back and defeated Baron Corbin. I have never been happier to be wrong about a prediction. I was so glad that he got his briefcase back. He didn't cash in. Also a good thing. Let him be Mr. Money in the Bank for a little while longer. It served its purpose because Baron Corbin is still more desperate. He's as villainous as ever, if not more. So it did what it needed to. RKBRO. They are the new tag team champions. Oh my goodness. This was so wonderful. AJ got most of, the in-ring action. That's the way it usually goes. So no surprises there. But after they won, I literally spun around in the living room. Riddle's face when Randy Orton embraced him, it was like his errant father had just come back in, after he went out for a pack of smokes or a bottle of milk or whatever he left for and never came back. It was like that. Oh, you're finally home. It's so sweet. Alexa Bliss defeated Eva Marie. Doudrop wasn't a factor. Lily wasn't a factor other than Eva Marie just kind of taking her off the turnbuckle and, beating her up for a little while. Yeah. Just lost. The only thing I had in mind was, oh my goodness, please don't let this match actually be longer than Goldberg Lashley. Oddly enough, the comparison I should have been making was, please don't let this be longer than the SmackDown Women's Championship match. 'Cause it was. Okay, I already talked about that. Damian Priest and Sheamus. I think this was one of the two best matches that weren't the main event. It was the best match so far. Better than RK-Bro, obviously. Better than Eva Marie and Alexa Bliss. But yeah, best match on the card so far. I loved his wardrobe. I thought that maybe it kind of gave the result away because it had the one leg with the Puerto Rican flag on it and the one leg with the United States flag on it. It was a lot of great back and forth, fantastic spots. I was a little bit worried when he did the flip off the top rope. It looked like he landed right on his booty. Oh my gosh. And it was hard too. It looked bad. They continued to work through it. Sheamus got a lot of the early offense. Well, most of the offense in general. And the crowd was absolutely awestruck when he kicked out of the brogue kick. When Damian Priest did. It was great. One of my favorite matches of the night. Tag team championships for SmackDown. The boys went to work, all four of them. They have wonderful matches every time they step in the ring together. The Usos and the Mysterios. Shot after shot, baseball slides, high risk maneuvers, suplexes. They don't play. And they fight with a lot of character too, especially the Usos. They're doing all the trash talking, trying to really disparage them, break them down psychologically while they break them down physically. I wouldn't be surprised if this actually drives a wedge between the Mysterios themselves. If Rhea and Dominic don't kind of blame each other in the wake of this for losing. Michael Cole said that they'll have to wait until another day to get an opportunity, which really shows how shallow the tag team division is, because they shouldn't wait for another day. In any sort of stacked tag team division, the Mysterios should go to the back of the line because they've lost a lot. But there's not much of a line. Street Profits, Alpha Academy, Usos, Mysterios, Dirty Dogs. That's it. Alpha Academy and Street Profits are feuding with each other, so there's no line. They probably will face each other once again. So it's a good thing they have good matches because they're going to get a lot. Nobody told Tiffany Haddish what Damian Priest's new championship was called. She called it the National Championship. They had a couple celebrity interviews. That was one of them. Mario Lopez was another one, but you could tell, you know, she was happy to be there. Rick Boogs and Shinsuke Nakamura got to be there. Rick Boogs called it a musical interlude. You know, Pat McAfee was up headbanging. It was a really good time. Shinsuke didn't have a match with anyone. Boogs didn't have a match with anyone, but it was just lovely to see them. I really enjoyed it. After that was the whole debacle with Bianca Belair, Carmella, and a returning Becky Lynch. I've already talked about that, so I'm not gonna go into how disrespectful it was, how she got zero offense on Becky Lynch, and how it does neither women any favors what happened. I'm gonna move on. I was so shocked about what happened. I didn't make a lot of notes for Drew and Jinder. Drew went over, he went over clean. There was no interference from Virenchansky whatsoever. Like, you didn't see heads or tails of them until after Mahal had already been defeated. When they came in, you know, and started to approach them, or started to approach him, Drew whipped out the sword and just like about took Veer's head off. Or is it Shanky? Shanky. About took Shanky's head off. What else? Oh, we went from one Scott to another. Raw Women's Championship. It was a great match. Like, they really did their thing. I'm glad Nikki got some good offense in. This was the other match that I was wrong about. So I got most of the predictions right, but these two, the two I got wrong, really stung. And this was the second one. Nikki lost. She lost to Charlotte. You know, not really surprising. WWE tend to fall into some really bad, really old habits. And when they don't know what to do in the women's division, their default is Charlotte or one of the other four horsewomen. Charlotte, Sasha, Becky, and Bayley. Bayley's out. Whatever's going on with Sasha is going on with Sasha. Becky's the SmackDown Women's Champion now, and Charlotte's the Raw Women's Champion. So they don't know what to do. They do the four horsewomen. Here we are again. I'm just glad that, you know, Nikki at least looks strong. Rhea looks strong. You know, there's more to be had there. I was glad that Vegas was at least a little bit receptive of Nikki because, like I said in the house show review, Charlotte hated her. They really did not like her. And but that's Charlotte and Rick territory, so of course they don't. At least Vegas was a little bit easier on her. I could tell from what Charlotte had on when she came out that she was going to win. And sometimes the wardrobe gives me all I need to know. And when she came out in the peacock, the peacock feathers, I already knew. And the stank look on Nikki's face with like that upturned mouth. Go back if you don't have if you have a Peacock account. That stank look she had on her face when Charlotte came out, that was enough. I knew that Nikki was gonna lose then, but like that look almost made up for it. Go back and check it out. Everybody got their finisher in instead. Other than Rhea, I think. And with that, I know Nikki's back in catering. It's over. Lumberjill, Raw Women's Champion, back to catering. After the two soul suckers, I really needed something good. Like, all of my energy had just been completely drained. And got exactly what I needed. Seth Rollins versus Edge, the other best match of the night that wasn't the main event. I turned the lights off to get like the full experience. I knew it was gonna be incredible. Edge came out through the flames. Like, I was wondering if he was gonna do that entrance. He came through the flames, wraparound sunglasses, the whole night. All he needed was Gangrel and Christian flanking him. And it was the perfect mix of old and new because he still had on, you know, his long coat that he comes out with in more recent times. It wasn't kind of that plastic pleather thing that they do, or that they did in the 90s. Rollins came out first, then Edge, and they had just, I mean, it was atmospheric, it was technical, like, they gave it the proper time. There were risks that Edge took and Seth Rollins took, especially with high-flying stuff that just really needed to be done to heighten the characters and to ratchet up the intensity. Oh my goodness, it was great. And the finish, like Edge like bouncing Seth Rollins' head against the canvas. I was like, oh my gosh, what a sicko! Like, he said it, there are no depths he won't sink to. Lovely. Then we got the thing with Xavier Woods and the water fight with Miz and Morrison. I was just glad they didn't interfere in Priest's match. So, fine with me. It was stupid. I didn't know who Xavier Woods was supposed to be until he said, "Ayo." I was like, oh, Razor Ramon. Okay, because it's always got different hairstyles for pay-per-views. I have like one line. No, I have a few for Bobby Lashley and Goldberg. No pyro, like a fire extinguisher went off. That's what it looked like when Bobby got on top of the turnbuckle. But the AR with Goldberg was top notch, like the golden curved letters. Woo! Loved it. The crowd was cheering for Bobby. They did not want Goldberg to win. And I think is supposed to be the heel in this feud. They did not. They were not into it. They cheered Goldberg's entrance. Like, that's essentially part of his theme song now, is the back of the audience. Like, you know, Goldberg. But once the match got going, it was Bobby's world. I guess Goldberg didn't want to go down with an actual finisher. Like, MVP hit the back of his knee with a cane or something like that, with the ref's back turned. You know, a couple minutes later, like, oh, Goldberg's leg is hurt, he can't get up, and the ref has to stop the match. Very unsatisfying. Like, I thought Bobby Lashley should have destroyed Goldberg, should have put him in a hurt lock, made him tap out, or made him pass out if he wanted to look that tough and not tap out. Make him pass out, fine. Ref stoppage. Ugh. Oh my goodness. But afterwards, Bobby Lashley came and Gage like tried to like come at him. I think it was from behind. I'm not sure, but Gage tried to come at him. Bobby Lashley put him in hurt lock. He passed out, and then Goldberg said he was gonna kill him. He's not gonna kill him. He's done for the year, like I said in the predictions. Bobby Lashley ain't getting no kilt anytime soon. John, I think, is about to win when he comes out. He's got these scrolling titles, like something out of a video game, going behind him, like the dates that he's won, all of his 16 title reigns, and then he's got the shirt with all the 16 belts going down his back, and I'm like, Roman is gonna lose this match. He's gonna lose. We're gonna sit here and look at the end of the Tribal Chief's reign, and we're gonna have to deal with more Super Cena that we're barely gonna see. He's gonna be champion as a part-timer, and he'll wrestle like 3 times a year like Brock Lesnar used to. That's not what we got. The pride of Roman's heart started to betray him early on, with Cena getting some defense, or some offense after Roman's opposing with the title. It was a long match. Lots of holds, lots of submissions, that kind of stuff. Punches, big moves, but lots of space. It was a match of space and kind of cinematic elements. I think they like to put Roman in submissions a lot because his face is so expressive, and you just see like all the drama coming out. Cena did the greatest hits, just like the house show. 3 AAs Roman's kicked out of that third one. That's what really got the audience like jazzed, because I mean, even with a tough opponent, usually the third AA is the one that ends the match, and after that third one, he's still kicked out. The audience came unglued. Luckily, in the end, Roman won, and Cena like disappeared, and Brock Lesnar came back. Now, oh my goodness, this is what I'm really, really amped for, because there's the conflict with Paul Heyman, right? Paul Heyman used to be Brock Lesnar's advocate, a passionate one. You know, he really hyped the man up. Brock Lesnar can do a little bit of talking on his own, but nothing like the man, Paul Heyman. Ooh. And now he's the tribal chief's special counsel. Like, conflict. What is the man gonna do? Oh, whew, can't wait to see it. Again, this went longer than I intended. I'm gonna probably try to edit this way down, and I know the orientation of my phone is like this, and I apologize for that. Thank you all for watching the predictions video. I know it was long. Let me know what you all think about SummerSlam, what happened, what your predictions were, how right or wrong you might have been, what you're happy about, what you're not. I'd especially, I mean, I'm not telling you what to put or anything, but I would especially love to know what you all thought about Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair. The return of any top tier talent, I am all in for, but they botched this one. I don't think in the long run it did anything for Becky or Bianca Belair. So, yeah. Share this video, like, share, and subscribe. Tap that bell icon to make sure you get notifications for when new videos come out. And yeah, thank you, and I'll see you guys soon.